Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for April the 27th, 2010. Our first position for tonight is going to be in the foreign exchange market, specifically the Australia yen currency pair. Now, looking at how things are setting up here, we've got our pivot support coming in at 86.22, 86.68, and 86.94. Now again, by pivot support, what we're talking about here is using the Vantage Point predicted moving averages as a pivot support area. We have a triple EMA crossover has taken place. From here, we're looking then to identify key areas where to buy and where to set our stops. So let's go in and have a look at the Aussie-US or Aussie-Japan, currency pair to see where things are sitting. Now we're going to look at the short-term crossover. We're going to go through this here one at a time. We can see the short-term crossover has taken place to the upside. Everything looks good there. Now we're going to look at the medium-term crossover. The medium-term crossover has also taken place just a matter of days ago. Now looking at the long-term crossover here from Vantage Point, we can see that this is just crossing over to the upside. This marks a very good opportunity to get into a buy position on a slight pullback. Now let's also go in and have a look at the true strength indicator from Vantage Point. What's it saying here? Now the true strength indicator is heavily overbought. It's coming back, but we can see that it's starting to move off the overbought level. So everything looks pretty good there too. Now looking at the predicted MACD, we're going to put that up here so everybody can see it also. Predicted MACD is actually heading a little bit lower, but I think that's okay for now. We're still above the zero line, so everything still looks good. Now looking at things here, we're also going to we're going to take this triple EMA, leave the triple EMA on, take off these other indicators. Now the stochastics, we're also going to have a quick look at that using the other indicators from Vantage Point. The predicted stochastics here, very clear buy signal off this trigger as it starts moving higher, but still not overbought, so everything looks good there. Now with that said, what we're going to do is we're now going to go into the daily report from Vantage Point and pick up on our predicted highs and lows. Now very important to notice here that I don't have the neural index on here. I have this chart completely uncluttered. Now it's very important that we don't add too many indicators on here because we're just going to clutter up the charts. We don't need to do that. With the Vantage Point software, very useful in the fact that it breaks all this apart for us. We now have a complete daily report. On the daily report from Vantage Point tomorrow, we can see the neural index is here, so there's very little reason for me to put that onto the chart. Now neural index is pointing up. We've got 87.63 as the high, 86.52 is the low. Predicted short, medium, and long-term differences, all positive. So 86.52 is going to be our focus for tomorrow. We're going to wait for a little bit of a pullback. We'll probably get that in Asia tonight, and from there we're going to use that to set our buy positions. Now looking at those pivot supports, we can see that again 86.68, 86.22, very good area to get into those buy positions. All stops should be really in reality should be below the 87.90 area just to be safe. Now again, the Aussie Japan, this is a cross pair. It's very volatile, but that's okay. Everything should be fine there. We can also trade dollar yen, but for tomorrow we're going to be looking at the Aussie Japan currency pair. Now that's our first position. Now our second position for tomorrow, we're going to be going into the E-mini Dow Jones Industrial Average using the continuous contracts. Now on this E-mini, we can identify key levels again of critical support: 10,992, 11,078, and 11,124. Now we've closed at 11,151, so everything looks good here for buy positions also. All our stops again below that 18-day predicted moving average from Vantage Point. Now going in, we're going to have a quick look and have a look at the medium-term outlook here to see what's happening with that crossover. Everything looks good on that medium term. There's really no need for me to hit the short-term crossover, but I'm going to anyway, just to double check things. So we can see that the short and the medium term both pointing higher. Now again, the predicted TSI from Vantage Point, we're going to apply this here. Predicted TSI from Vantage Point, still in overbought territory, but again, overbought and oversold signals can be difficult to trade off of, because as you can see here, we're getting ready to cross over. The predicted true strength indicator is getting ready to cross over to the upside yet again, even though it's an overbought territory. So very important to realize that just because we have an overbought signal, that doesn't mean it's not going to go higher. Everything here points that the Dow Jones, the E-mini, and the regular Dow Jones Industrial Contract should move higher. Now looking at the long term, we've had a nice move up here. Everything looks good for this to continue. So again, we don't want to complicate things here. We don't want to, again,